For Siloam Springs, a little before 8 o'clock. For our metro areas from Bentonville to Fayetteville, you're looking closer towards 8:30 before we see that main line of some of the stronger wind gusts and some of those heavier downpours begin to move into our area. But all in all, going to be an active start to the day, seeing temperatures into the 70s and into the 80s already. Good news is, though, as these storms approach and move through the area, we're going to see some cooler air from the outflow of the storms. And then on the backside of it, cold front moves through. So for today, we're actually looking much cooler in general. Logan County seeing some storms riding right along I-40, right along the Arkansas River there. We've been seeing those showers there for a good hour now, right near Knoxville, south side of Clarksville, south side of Lamar. They've been just training more towards the east.
Yeah, this is going to be a good week to go see some of those movies, stay out of the heat. There's air conditioning, it's always nice in there, but also maybe to hit some pools because we're going to be very warm as we head into the next few days. It's going to start today as well because we're going to see temperatures getting into the upper 90s for a few areas as we go throughout your Monday, and really not much relief in sight as we head into the 7-day forecast. But to start out your Monday morning as you head outside for today, mainly seeing temperatures into the 60s and into the 70s across northwest Arkansas and for the River Valley. Right now, 68 degrees in Fayetteville, 69 in Bentonville as you head towards the River Valley, 73 degrees in Fort Smith. So really not too bad outside. We do have a light wind coming out of the south. It will pick up more as we head into Tuesday and Wednesday, so a little bit more humidity, a little bit more heat as we head more towards the middle parts of the week. But for this morning, going to be dealing with a couple clouds out there. Nice sunrise, temperatures into the 70s and eventually into the 80s as we head later on into the morning from northwest Arkansas for the River Valley as well. We'll be seeing those 80s into the upper 80s as we head towards lunchtime, then 90s pretty much all afternoon long.
You're ready to geek out about these.
I might nerd out a little bit. This is shelf cloud, and it's a very classic example. And normally when you see one of these storms with strong winds, it's a line of storms. You see a gust front like this. It's when that cool air from a downburst is moving across the ground, and it really kicks up some of that moisture out in front of it. So when you see a cloud like this, a shelf cloud, you know on the backside of it, all the wind's going to pick up, the rain's going to pick up, and you could even see some hail. All of that are things that we saw earlier this morning. That took me all of about 10 seconds. So if you can get out today and build a snowman, you definitely should, because this is quite possibly the greatest snowman making snow I've ever seen in my life. And I've been through a ton of snowstorms this morning, mainly just dealing with some heavy rain at times, and here in Clarksville and parts of Johnson County just dealing with some strong winds and some embedded hail. So as we move over the next few hours, and we should be seeing some clearer skies on the way, but for now just dealing with some heavy rain, some hail, and some strong winds moving through Johnson County here. All right, those are all good tips, and luckily I have some good tips for this weekend as well. I'm not going to have to worry quite too much about the heat as we go forward here. Still going to be into the 90s, but not going to be into the hundreds, and definitely going to be drier in terms of the humidity as we go over the next few days. But we are going to see some shower chances as we head into your extended 4th of July weekend, and then really for much of the 7-day forecast, we're going to have shower chances in our area. And that's because this high-pressure system that brought all that warm air for the last few days has moved more towards the south and to the east. So instead of seeing all the showers move around us, we're now seeing them moving into our area, seeing some more cloud coverage as we go into your Saturday. It's going to be the case through much of the next 7 days. This high pressure system will slowly begin to move out, but we'll see just showers and clouds in our vicinity. Parts of eastern Arkansas, in between Memphis and Little Rock near Jonesboro, you're seeing some storms. A couple of them have become severe thunderstorm warned at this point, but it's a tale of two halves of the natural state, because to the east there's storms. As you get farther towards the west to 5 country, we have mainly nothing but blue skies here. Right now, a lot of those showers that we're moving through parts of Benton and Washington counties moving more towards the east. A lot of them have just completely died out. We're still seeing some showers to our north and a larger complex that's moving in parts of Missouri, but a lot of us staying dry as we go throughout this morning. We're going to see more cloud coverage throughout the rest of today because of those storms in our vicinity, but we're only going to pick up a few stray showers as we go throughout the rest of today.
It's going to be hot outside.
Yeah, Jose, I'd be like that biker. I would have already been out there for this morning, because if you haven't started, you really don't want to go any later into today, because, man, it's going to be warm as we go into the rest of this morning, into this afternoon. We're going to see temperatures getting into the 90s pretty much area-wide. Take a look at the weather setup as we get into Sunday night. Like I mentioned, we're tracking the chance for some stronger storms on the way. Now, most of the strong storms will be parts of the Oklahoma Panhandle moving into central Oklahoma. We'll just get the remnants of that line.
Who Freddie Funko is? Yeah, it's the mascot for the Funko brand. Look, it's so similar.
So those little Funko Pops, they've been around for 25 years? I didn't know that.
I feel like they've only been like a recent thing.
Okay, maybe I need to get an OG Freddie one, because he looks so much like me.
Yes, I think you guys are related. All right, thanks, Steven.
This is a lot of flowers. Should I be worried about some bees or some spiders? Anything in this, if I'm bringing it to my home, I should be worried about?
There's no pests.
Okay.
And we try to make sure if you have an animal or like a cat or a dog, we try to stick away from the flowers that could be toxic to them.
right.
So just let us
Great
know.
to
We
know.
can
Perfect.
customize
You
your
have a
own
dog.
All right, for today's dress for the day, you might want to get ready for the pool or for the sprinkler because it's going to be hot outside as we get going here into the afternoon. One of our hottest days so far this summer. Right now, we're keeping an eye on the radar, not for us because we're really just going to see some of the cloud coverage from some of these storms that we're seeing towards our northeast, but we're seeing some pretty impactful flash flooding throughout this morning from this system just training over parts of Kentucky. So keeping an eye on that. But for us, we're really just going to see this high pressure system bringing a lot of heat our way. We're going to work in a few more clouds today than what we saw yesterday, but we're staying dry all the way until at least tomorrow, if not more towards Friday before we see some scattered showers returning to our area. But temperatures are going to be the main concern for today. We're already seeing warmer temperatures outside to start your Wednesday into the low 80s for Northwest Arkansas. It's been that way for the last few hours. It's not going to get into the 70s. From here on out, we're only going to see those mid to upper 80s throughout the rest of this morning into the 90s as we go into the afternoon. For the River Valley, still got a few spots into the 70s, but we'll be quickly heating up now that that sun is up. We're going to be into the 80s here shortly. For Northwest Arkansas, we can see as we move towards the afternoon, those 90s will be in our area by lunchtime. Lots more cloud coverage for today, partly cloudy skies as we see temperatures rising into the upper 90s for those high temperatures today. For the River Valley, we're going to be into the upper 90s, if not into the triple digits for most of the area, dealing with cloud coverage as well, but we'll be into the 90s once we get past noon onwards. It's going to be very warm for today. We already have those excessive heat warnings for the River Valley, and we are those heat advisories for Northwest Arkansas. But the reason we're seeing so many warm temperatures for today is all that wind coming out of the south, gusting upwards of 25 to 30 miles an hour at times. It's going to be peaking throughout this morning, but all coming out of the southwest. That's where that heat, that's where that humidity is. So we'll continue to see that through today. We're not going to see that wind shift more until the end of the day for tomorrow, and then Friday's looking cooler as well. But Futurecast shows as we go throughout your afternoon, we're going to see some cloud coverage in the area for Wednesday. As we move more towards the overnight Thursday, we're also going to see some clouds through most of the day on Thursday. So we're even a little bit cloudier than what we're expecting for today, but we could work in just a couple of showers to wrap up the day on Thursday. I think a majority of us, especially for the River Valley, stay completely dry. Our next chance to see some of those showers will begin to move in as we go into Friday. We're going to see that low begin to move closer to our area. That front will push in. So temperature-wise, we're looking much better as we head into Friday and for much of the weekend. But for tomorrow, still warm for Northwest Arkansas. Not quite as warm thanks to the cloud coverage, but we'll be into the low 90s for the high temperatures for your Thursday. For the River Valley, we're mainly looking at the mid-90s as we go throughout the day for tomorrow. For the 7-day forecast for Northwest Arkansas, seeing temperatures by the weekend getting into the 80s. Going to be a little bit below average, but quickly warming up as we get into the start of the week for the River Valley as well. Hot for today, a little bit cooler for tomorrow. Friday and Saturday looking much nicer, slowly warming up for next week.
It looks like maybe the cloud cover a little bit today, maybe our saving grace. What do you think?
It might be, and I think that wind is really going to be the most impactful when you get a nice breeze moving through the area. If you're in the shade, that's what's going to help out a lot. But the clouds as well, if you're deciding to head to the pool, will make it feel a little bit better. But all in all, I mean, it's going to be hot regardless of what you try to do outside. The only thing I know to do when it's this hot is just stay inside.
Yeah, that's great advice right there. All right, thanks so much, Stephen.